So good morning, everyone, again. Let's start our session. So as you know, today we are officially presenting our second open call INNOVATE program from SusRur project. Today we will have the presentation done by Professor Zanetta from the coordinator partner, myself as representative of F6S, and Jorge Perez from Espacio Tormaleo, that also will present the program. Two notes before starting and before delve into the agenda. The first one is that the session is being recorded and will be available on SusRur social media channels and website very soon. And the second, if you have any question that you would like to address to us, please use the question and answer chat. We will not answer other questions from other, so you should use this section for this. So write your question and we will address them at the question session part. So just to give you a brief topics that we are now we will present during this presentation. Our agenda starts with a presentation of the SusRur project. Afterwards, a brief and very concise presentation of the program, the INNOVATE program. After that, we will delve into the terms and conditions of this call, and we will finalize the session with a Q&A session. So I will give the floor to Professor Zanetta, the coordinator of this project, that will give you a brief presentation of the SusRur.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for the introduction. And I would like to say hello to everyone who joined us to this first webinar. And I should say you did a right choice, because this project towards sustainability and resilience scenarios for tourism of SMEs in rural and remote areas is very, very interesting and very involving, and giving the big possibilities to show you your businesses, and also to learn new things, to meet new partners, to invite new customers to your places, and of course share experiences and develop your businesses. As Daniel already said, the coordinator of this very interesting and very actual, I should say, project is Kaunas University of Technology, Lithuania, and it's one of the biggest technical universities around Baltic Sea, in the Baltics. And we have very diverse experience and sustainability, and especially institute, which director I am, Institute of Environmental Engineering. So we have these possibilities to provide you with information related to technology, to policy, of course, with all the sustainability solutions related to different areas. And of course, we have excellent partners. And I hope for most participants who are participating and in this webinar already know, and maybe you were contacted by those excellent partners. So Entrepreneurship Support Foundation Joint Force C from Greece, Espacio Tormaleo App Store from Spain, Koestinger Consulting from Austria, Asociata de Dezvoltare Intercomunitară Harghita from Romania, and our financial management partner F6S from Ireland. So as you can see, it's already a year. Before a year we launched this project, and we finalized one part of it. And of course, we are happy that the final event will be very soon, and in the second part of March. And we are happy to have very interesting businesses, small and medium companies from all 5 regions which are learning sustainability, and hopefully will share the experience with others. The budget, you see, it's 1 million and a little bit more than 200,000. And I should say like more than a half is devoted to our participants, to our SMEs. So definitely it's a very good project for SMEs to start or to improve their sustainability competences using this, I should say, not a big amount of money, but very significant and very easy to take. So the next slide, please. Of course, as I said, we have a main aim of the project. Of course, we are going together with European Commission to support not only tourism in already recognized areas, but this our focus in this project is on rural and remote areas. As usually, if you are, because you are a representative of this kind of areas, you know that the giant part of financing they're taking maybe by most popular touristic areas. So in this case, we are giving an opportunity to rural and remote areas, and it's a nice chance not to compete with already known and well-known and popular touristic areas. So of course, the tourism is very important when it comes to sustainability, because you are meeting directly the customers, and customers are became more and more educated. They know what sustainability is, and they are requesting not only for cheap and high quality, but also for sustainable services, and I should say they should come in a kind of systematical way, where your customers were thinking about food, about different mobility availabilities, about the housing, about the learning the areas, and also adding their possibilities to improve the sustainability of the region. So showing the possibilities, growing your competences, and learning how to attract your customers with this sustainability motive. I think it's very important for you to feel confident to introduce what you are talking about, that your practices are real sustainable, and you know what it is, and you share your experiences with others. So the next slide, please. So the general objective, as I said, and I would like to stress once again, we are supporting the SMEs from tourism region from 5 selected regions. So, of course, we are really encouraged to listen to others and to learn about the possibilities. But our project supports only the participants, SMEs from the regions which were introduced by me in the very beginning, and of course this will be repeated by Jorge and Daniel. And of course, we have a specific goal to raise your competences, to increase your experience. What does it mean, sustainability? Sometimes the sustainability seems complicated, but in fact it isn't. So simple understanding what sustainability is, so widening your knowledges on this, better understanding of sustainable development goals and what is behind them. Not only those colorful boxes, but what kind of principles are useful for you, for your business development, for attraction of your customers. And of course, I don't know if how much time you devoted to your business plan development. Maybe it was kind of very marginal experience to develop your business plans. Then maybe some of them it goes by because of life. Yes. So here in this project, you have a possibility to get financing to develop your professional business plans, to improve it, and you can use this project money for this. And of course, the awareness, showing your success in the region. I think it will be good practice for other colleagues to follow you as a good examples, and you can be like a good advisors for your colleagues in the region, and going faster ahead. So I think it make you as a big advantage and attractive your customers and increasing the how to say information about the region and possibilities. Because as far as I learn, your regions are so unique, are so nice. So you definitely should attract more and more customers to regions, and they have to enjoy the delights you have in your places. Yes. Next. And yes, this is a little bit about funding, but in fact, more detail in funding will be discussed by Jorge and Daniel, especially by Daniel, when it comes to all the conditions how to get. So you see, we have now on the second stage of our program. We are, as I mentioned, finalized the first one. Then the 20 SMEs receive up to 6,000 support to learn about sustainability, to develop their new ideas or improve the old ones. But in this second call, we are willing, and we had a goal to finance about up to 80 SMEs. In total, it's not like a division according to regions, first come, first served, in fact. So 80 SMEs to receive 7,000 euros for their training, for their also certification, for the implementation of innovation, and so on, and also learning the new experiences. So I really encourage not to wait until the last day, because we will evaluate the applications according to the points, and the best ones, we have the first hand to choose the good practice they want to learn and to implement in their places. And I think it's very important to develop the best applications, to have the biggest choices to fulfill your dreams and to implement it into reality. So maybe that's it from my side, and I will wait until the end. And definitely I will open and ready to answer to your questions. Thank you very much.
So now we will present the INNOVATE program. I give the floor to Jorge Perez.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Saneta, for the introduction. Sorry that my camera is not working properly, but at least you can see my face on the screen. So yeah, so what I will do is, before Daniel goes through the main conditions of the open call and the process on how to apply, which is something that it will be relevant for you as potential applicants, I want to give like a brief introduction of the program for those of you who have not maybe accessed the information available on the website. So basically, the idea of the program as part of this SusRur project, for those maybe you don't know, this project and a few more other projects that have been awarded in the same call, It's from the Commission. The Commission wanted to support SMEs and sustainable tourist growth after COVID-19. Okay, so that was the main idea. Tourism was one of the most affected sectors in Europe due to the COVID-19. So the idea for the Commission was to support somehow the recovery. In this case, what we did is like we designed a project that was focusing on rural and remote areas in 5 different regions in Europe. And the spirit of the project, and specifically of this program, the INNOVATE program, is to promote cross-regional innovation in the different hubs of the SusRur project in the different regions, mainly by identifying, selecting, and replicating best innovative practices in sustainable tourism, and to develop and to support the replication of these practices to implement at the local level. Okay. And this is in alignment with the expected outcomes from the Commission. Okay, so to support enhanced transnational cooperation, to support knowledge transfer and peer learning between the different regions and the different and the SMEs, potential applicants from these regions. Okay, so as Aneta mentioned, this call aims to support at least 80 different tourist SMEs in implementing sustainable and innovative practices for a maximum of 7,000 euros grant from lump sum through the lump sum mechanism. And for those who are interested and are selected, you are expected to complete some compulsory actions that I will explain after. But the main objectives are 3. First, to uptake and replicate good practices to enhance the sustainability performance of your companies, or either you as self-employed entrepreneurs or persons working in the rural tourism business. Then to provide you support also to adopt sustainable practices through different certification schemes and labels that we will explain. And then to support also the capacity building and the development of different skills for you in alignment with the ongoing digital and green transition supported by the European Commission. So next slide, please. Okay. Expected outcomes for this program or this call is first to provide access to a wide catalog of sustainable good practices in different in the different eligible regions for other tourist SMEs or entrepreneurs to learn, to have the possibility to exchange, to learn, and to replicate at the local level. This can be also translated later on in the implementation of maybe in your business new services, products, or solutions that you can apply at the local level. This will also contribute to enhance sustainability performance to align with the green and digital transition. Of course, at the end, to support the increase in the resilience capacity of rural tourist SMEs. That is one of the main aspects from the European Commission. And then to provide some kind of resources and knowledge to the potential applicants to boost their skills through capacity building, to develop more competitive services, products, and solutions. Okay, and also to facilitate the access to tourist sustainability certifications, labels, and schemes, which is something that maybe, especially in rural and remote areas, most of the business are not basically you don't know or you are not familiar with, and through this open call, maybe there is a possibility for you to access this kind of services. Next slide, please. Okay, so with this call, we will support 4 different activities. Okay, so all the potential applicants which are interested in participating in this open call will have the opportunity to complete 4 different activities. The first one, which is the most relevant, is the replication of good sustainable practices. Okay, so the idea, as I mentioned before, is to promote the learning, replication, and setup of good sustainability practices through transnational and cross-border cooperation. Okay, so the idea is like the potential applicants will have the possibility to learn about good practices in rural tourism from other areas in the project, from other regions, and then you will be able to travel there to learn, to exchange, to promote some kind of peer learning, and then to be able to replicate at the local level later on. Okay, so what we did is like we selected 5 different categories. mainly circular economy, clean energy transition, digitalization, smart mobility, and biodiversity. And then for each category, there are some subcategories that you will be able to see in the guide for applicants. And then we have like a 6th category, which is called others. So any other possible good practice which is not included in the first 5 categories will be included in there. Like, for example, I don't know, like training or capacity building or support to entrepreneurs or other kinds of possible activities. And this will be reflected in a booklet, okay, which is a catalog of good practices that it's available at the moment, but it's a living document, okay, so it will be updated through the duration of the open call. And then once, so the potential applicants will be able to select which kind of categories they are more interested in, okay, to maybe develop a service in circular economy or a solution in clean energy transition, things like this. And then at the end, when the open call is closed and we perform the selection and evaluation process, those SMEs selected will be able to access the full catalog, and you will be able to select which of these practices you will like to implement. Okay, so the conditions and all this will be explained later on by Daniel. Next, please. Then the second activity that maybe you are not familiar with is the possibility of promoting the obtaining one of the main labels or certificates available for sustainable tourism. We have selected 5. Maybe the EU Eco Label, which are maybe are most familiar, you can be most familiar with, to support sustainability in specific products that you might have in sustainable products. And the other 4 are more like certificate schemes, Green Key, Travel Life, Green Glove, and Biosphere. All of them have different specifications and requests, and there are some difference in the process, but this is all explained also in the guide for applicants. And you can double check the information included in there to see which one is more beneficial or fits better with your activity. So the idea is you will receive also some money in order for you to embark onto this certification process. And this can have very positive impact at your business level, including, you can embark into a process towards more efficient management. It can have economic benefits because you can have better image towards your clients, potential clients, or it can enhance your image also towards the general public. Okay, so although maybe most of you may not be familiar, I will really encourage you to take a look and embark onto one of these potential certificates, because this could be very beneficial for your business. Next, please. Okay, the third one is trying to complement the other activities and try to support the SMEs and entrepreneurs in their capacity building and to boost their skills in sustainable tourism. So what we did is we selected the Sustainable Tourist Training Program for the Global Sustainable Tourist Council, which is probably one of the most recognized entity at the level of sustainable tourism in Europe and globally. So the applicants will be able or will get granted in order to support them in completing some of the training activities from this program. And they will gain not only in-depth knowledge of the different sustainable tourist criteria and global standards in the travel and tourism industry, but they will be also learn how to implement sustainability practice at the local level, and then policies and practices in your organization. Okay, so you will be able to complete at least 2 training activities from the tourist training program, and I believe this could be very beneficial as well for your organization or for you as individuals, as entrepreneurs. Next one. And then the last one, there will be some money also allocated to consulting services. Okay, so we believe it's very important also for you to be able to get external support in order to enhance your sustainability performance. So what we did is we selected 3 possible topics that could be of interest related to sustainable tourism, applied to companies and entrepreneurs from the rural and tourist areas from the project. One is the digital marketing plan. The second one is a sustainability and strategy plan. And the third one is a technology and innovation survey. Okay, so you will be able to select which of these consulting services are fit better with your needs and your expectations and your future activities. And then what we will do is we will prepare a list of trustable service providers at the local level from each region that will be available upon completion of the evaluation and selection process. So at the end, you will be able to select for these 3 topics which of the providers are you most interested in, and then they will be able to complete the consulting services. Okay. So yeah, this is the summary of the 4 activities that will be supported in the project. We hope that this pool of activities will be of interest for you, that it will make you to be very interested in applying for the program. And I will pass the floor to Daniel, that will explain now the process of how to apply and the terms and conditions. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jörg, for your presentation, and also Professor Zanetta for introducing SusRur project to everyone. Now we will delve into the terms and conditions of this call. So these are the main, these are the rules of the game, I would say. So what you have to take into consideration when applying to the open call INNOVATE program. But first, I want to introduce you a very main characteristics of this call. In a nutshell, what you have to know to apply and submit your application according to our rules. So the time frame, as you know, the call is now active, and you can upload and you can submit your application until the 3rd of April 2024 at 5 p.m. Brussels time. So any other application that is submitted after or outside of this time frame will not be eligible. And the indicative budget to support the 80 SMEs from 5 eligible regions is 560,000 euros, which represents an estimated budget per participant of 7,000 euros. And the duration of the program, if you are selected to be part of the INNOVATE program, is 12 months, starting in July 2024. And this, of course, will depend if we do all the process regarding selection and evaluation and selection, and it also depends on the number of applications that we receive. But we are targeting to start the program by July this year. And of course, I'll have to say that one of the most important things before applying to this call is to read all the documents that are part of the documentation kit that are available on this link that I also shared on the chat of this webinar. And you should take serious consideration when applying to this call to these documents. Well, first of all, to the call for proposal and guide for applicants, where you can find most of the information that will be presented here. And also, as Jorge mentioned, you have also to look at the preliminary list of good practice to understand what are the providers and what are the solutions that we are making available to participants. And of course, you have all the other technical documents that you have to consider. But at this moment, those are the two that you have to look very deeply before applying to the call. Just starting with the support activities, trying to navigate what Jorge has presented before. So in terms of activities that we are supporting that are eligible under this call, and as Jorge presented, you have 2 study visits. So you have to go to the region where you selected the 3 GPs that you want to observe, to learn more about. And these are the activities that are eligible under this call, and also a second visit for the GP provider to go to your premise to help you and assist you in the implementation of this good practice. So these 2 visits, and after this, you have the normal activities that are linked to the activities that it was mentioned before. So the implementation of one sustainable tourism certification scheme from the list that is provided on the guide for applicants, access to a minimum of 2 training courses from the online and interactive trainings and course available on this GSTC portal, and also activities linked to access to specialized consulting service. Another important thing that I want to highlight here is there is an extra activity that everyone should perform. Every SME selected to this program is to participate in the final region meeting at month 12. So if everything goes according to the plan, by June 2025, to present your idea, to network with the other SMEs that are part of the program, and also to present what were the learnings from your participation in this program. So this participation, this final regional meeting is mandatory. During the presentation, we'll see these highlighted notes that you have to pay special attention when participating and when applied to the call. So the first one, you have to implement all the activities that are here. If you don't perform them, you will not receive all the money, or the budget will be withheld, and the subgrant agreement can be terminated. So this is very important. We have to be aware that you have to perform these mandatory activities. In terms of eligible costs, so you have to travel. So all the costs associated with the travel and subsistence are eligible under this call, and also direct costs regarding registration fees with the training activities or the consulting service. Also for the certification schemes and label, membership rates, annual subscriptions fees, final certification. If you have to onboard with audit company to implement a certification, all these costs associated with this process are eligible if they are implemented during the project implementation period. So you cannot present costs after, for instance, the program ends. And also costs for service provided by experts and consultants. In this way is related to the consulting service mainly. So as it is in this note, so any expense resulting from consulting service certification schemes or training provided by entities not indicated in the Article 2.1 of the Guide for Applicants are ineligible. So you have to pay very special attention to this one. In terms of application process, you have to go through the official submission system that is provided by F6S submission system, and you can find the link to this form on our webpage. And I have to inform that any application submitted by any other means will be automatically discarded. So you have to use this F6S official or the calls official submission system in order to be considered for the evaluation process and selection process as well. And of course, as you know, in order to submit your application, you have to have a F6S user profile and also a company profile. And I will show you how to do this after this slide. But any questions that you have, you can easily search on f6s.com, and you will find all the steps that you have to do in order to submit your application. But let's show you very briefly how the application process starts. So the first thing that you have to do is, if you have an account, you can go sign in, or if you don't have an account, you go to use your email, create first and last name, address, password, and join. If you have an account, you can join with your email, LinkedIn or Facebook. And move on. When entering on the F6S page, you can go to the apply menu, search for the SusRur open call option or opportunity, or go to our website and click apply now, and you will be directly direct to this page. So you don't need to do this process if you go through our web page. So here you'll find all the main characteristics of the call, and you can find a very brief description of the eligible regions and terms and conditions. You have to click on the apply by April 3rd. And if you don't have a company, you have to create one. So you go create one, you indicate your company's name and create, and it's automatically, you don't need to do anything else. Or if you have already a company profile, you go select the company profile that you want to use to submit your proposal, start the application process, fill in all the required and mandatory fields. And after you have everything selected, everything uploaded, you can apply. So this is very briefly the application process. Regarding the application form, I will do a very brief presentation of the main characteristics of this form, starting with the administration form. So what we are asking at this point is, of course, to indicate if you are a self-employed person and or a family business, or either a self-employed person or a family business or enterprise, and as a typical SME enterprise. So this is only to understand the kind of information that we need you to provide under the call. And also you have to indicate the type of enterprise. So according to European Commission, there are 3 types of enterprise. So autonomous enterprise, linked or partner enterprise. And you have to go there and identify which case are your SME regarding the type of enterprise. If you don't know, I will advise you to consult your accountant and try to understand if you are an autonomous, linked or partner, or a link or a partner enterprise. You have to indicate the tax registration number according to your country requirements. So you have to select which one is the one that is for you, that suits your case. And after that, you have to submit a tax registration certificate according to your country requirements. So here are 3 links where you can download the certification that proves that you have and that you are in an economic activity, and that proves that this specific that you are also an SME. Here are the links and also the certificates that we are required at this process. And one thing that you have to be very that you have to consider during the representation, that you have to submit a tax registration certificate. If you don't submit any, you will be automatically considered or deemed ineligible, and you will not be evaluated. So this process is very important. Any questions that you have, you can contact us or even the local partner, and we will assist you in this process, but this is mandatory at this stage. Regarding the sections that we are evaluating, so very briefly, we are a section regarding the good sustainable practice, where you have to define the topic that you would like to replicate to your business and explain why it's important for you. You have also a section 2 that is regarding implementation, when you have to indicate why the good sustainable topic that you selected are important for the twin, green, and digital transition for your company, and also to select which, or indicate, not select, because you can always change during the implementation of your project if you identify that something is better or is more suitable at that time that was indicated during the application form. but you have to indicate at least one of the main certification schemes that you would like to adopt, and also the consulting service topics that you would like to engage. And of course, a very brief presentation of the team members. I have to say, and I will like to underline this sentence, is that we are asking for a brief explanation. You don't need to go deep on the text that you are providing to us, but we are asking for very brief, very straightforward answers. Don't complicate things. And you will see that you will not have a lot of time to go further in your explanation, and also to finalize the benefits and the impact of this proposal to the SusRur project and your company. Just two other important considerations: this application must be submitted in English. In another language, sorry, is not available or eligible. Only one application per applicant will be accepted, and you have to submit within the timeline. Regarding the eligibility criteria, so for the SME or for the participant, one thing that you have to bear in mind is that only SMEs are from eligible regions and that are legally based on the eligible regions are eligible for this call, and also you have to be in the tourism sector under one of these, or at least one of these NACES classes. Other can be considered if you clearly show that you are aligned with the project scope. So you can go to the guide for applicants, search for the NACES classes that we are supporting, and you have to, and also the scope of the project, and you have to explain if you are not within one of these NACES classes, you can and you can apply as well, but you have to clearly show that you are in the scope of the project. Regarding the regions that are eligible, so you have to be based on one of these regions. So Asturias from Spain, Western Macedonia from Greece, Harghita from Romania, Lithuania from Lithuania, and state shares Vulcan land from Austria. So for instance, if your SME is legally based on a different region, but once you implement a project in an eligible region, it will be deemed ineligible. So we are supporting companies that are legally established in these regions. And another important thing to consider when apply, if you have already received funding or financial support from Open Call 1 of SusRur or other project under the topic or the topic that we were funded, the SusRur project. So these are the projects, our sister projects. You are ineligible under this call. So you haven't received any kind of financial support within this topic. Very briefly, in terms of evaluation and selection process, just to give you a heads up on the process. So after the call close, we will proceed. We will perform an eligibility check. All ineligible applications will be immediately contacted and informed that they were considered ineligible and didn't proceed to the next phase, that is remote evaluation by an internal expert from SusRur project. If needed, a consensus meeting will be arranged to ensure that the applicant is not favored or don't receive the same treatment, let's say like that, from the two evaluators. So there will be two evaluators evaluating your proposal. If, for instance, one evaluator says that your proposal is bad and the other says that excellent, a consensus meeting will be performed in this case to understand why they are divergent a lot between the two scores. A preliminary ranked list will be populated, and after that, according to one of our criteria, so we have to fund and support a specific number of SMEs per region, so 12 per region. So we are now trying to reach that goal that is mandatory for SusRur project. We will proceed like that, and after that, all the best ranked scored companies will be funded. And if you are outside and you, for instance, if you reach the threshold to be supported by the call, but the funded is not available anymore, you will be part of the reserve list. And if some company withdraws from the program, drop out, we will if you are part of the reserve list, we will replace that company. In terms of evaluation selection process, what criteria are we evaluating are very like the topics that we are requesting, the section that we are requesting during the application form, one for good sustainable practice, another for implementation, another for benefits and impacts. In terms of scores that we are providing between 1 and 5, meaning 1 failed to provide any or to address the specific issue that was under examination, and the 5 represents that you receive and all the criteria or all the relevant aspects of that part of the question were addressed, and you receive it at 5. In terms of indicative timelines, just to be aware what are the next steps regarding the process. So submission stage until the 3rd of April. After that, we start the evaluation and selection stage until mid-May. And by then, companies or applicants will receive the results of their application, of their proposals by receiving by email with evaluation summary report attached to that email. And if you are part of the final list, you will be invited to start a subgrant agreement stage that should be completed by mid-June. The program, as I said, will start in July, 1st of July, and we will have another session on the 5th of March, 2024, at the same hour, only dedicated or mainly dedicated to questions and answer sessions. So most of the time is to reply to your doubts and your concerns and questions regarding the call. So you can use this session to make and address your concerns and doubts. Just to mention as well the checkpoints and payments. So this is a lump sum mechanism, and you will receive the payments will be attached to the checkpoints, to the completion of tasks that you have to proceed during the project. So there are 4 checkpoints. As highlighted here, the deliverables are very simple. So study visit report, 1-page reports highlighting the main learnings from that visit. The same for the second one, for the participation in the consulting service, and also in the 2 training certificates of completion, of achievement, of attendance. So certifications, you don't need to do much. You just need to complete all of these tasks. By month 11, you have to also submit a very brief report on replication of good practice, nothing too complex. We don't need this with these 20-page reports or something like that. We are not requiring that. It's a very simple report. We will send you the template, what are the main questions that you have to address, and submit it. And of course, for the certification scheme, proof of submission of the application form or equivalent that highlights that you have started this process, or at least the costs were done during the implementation of the project. Regarding payments, as we have already highlighted, we will receive 7,000 euros to participate in this project, in this program, and the payments will be divided in 3 periods. So the first one that represents 30% of the total amount, the total amount of the grant will be then upon signature of the sub-grant agreement, and the second and the third that represent 35% each of the total amount will be done after completion of the checkpoint 1 and 2 and the checkpoint 3 and 4. One important thing is to understand that applicants have to guarantee stable and sufficient source of funding to maintain his activities throughout his participation in the project. And this means what? This means that, for instance, at the end of the project, you have to complete the training, you have to complete the certification part, you have to complete the consulting service, and you will see that probably you will not have the money or the third payment. You have to put this in advance, and you will receive after you complete the program. So this is very important. Don't forget that that since it's a very important issue. I know that some questions popped up during my presentation. Jorge answered them, but I will also try to read them and also reply, just to everyone knows what was about these questions, and also to understand what are the main answers. So the first one is, is it possible to invest in water collection equipment? Can at least part of the investment to this equipment be used from the project? The answer is, as Jorge said, so unfortunately it is not possible to use the lump sum grant to invest in equipment, since it's forbidden by the European Commission. So the eligible costs were identified in this project, in this presentation. So costs with travel and subsistence for the 2 visits that you have to perform during the replication activity, costs with consultancy service and experts and consultants that are within this consultancy service, costs with the trainings, and also costs with the certification. Those are the only ones that you can use as during the participation of this program. The second one, do I have to obtain a sustainability certificate or label within the time frame of the project? Is it possible to get a certificate or label within that time? If the process is not complete by the end of the project, will I have to pay back the money? So starting the process, the answer that I will read what Jorge's writes. So starting the process of certification within the expected timeline will be enough for justification purpose. It is not compulsory to finish the whole process. We need a 12-month of duration of the call. So I think this is very clear. What you have to show is that the activity that you have performed during your participation in the project. That's very important. Okay, the same question about water collection. Another question, please, could you explain and give one example how we have to replicate a good practice? So I will read the answer now. So from the pool of GPs available, you will have to perform a study visit. At the end, select one GP of your interest that you like to replicate and implement at local level. The GPs have been carefully selected, so they are not linked to expense investments, but they should be easy to replicate. You will have to provide a short report as checklist point explaining the process of replication and implementation, but rest assured that there will be no major investments needed, infrastructure, equipment for the replication process. I think it's clear. Thank you so much, Jorge, for providing these answers. We have another question. Applicants from other countries can apply, and unfortunately, only SMEs, companies, and self-employed people that are also considered SMEs under European Commission definition from the 5 eligible regions are eligible or can apply to this call. No other, unfortunately, we cannot support other SMEs, tourist SMEs from another regions. I think there are 2 other questions. So do I have to obtain a sustainability certificate or label? It is mandatory. So it is mandatory under this call. You have to perform an activity that shows that you started this process. We understand that for some certification schemes and label, it will be impossible to conclude the process within the time frame of the project. However, if you show that you have started, this is enough to prove that you have initiated this process, and it is mandatory for this call. And okay, there is another one. Let me very quickly go there if I can find it. Where it is? I know that. I think it is related to, or free to choose if they want it, use the money and time elsewhere. So as Jorge said, so 7,000 lump sum grant is to be used for the activities that are identified here in the guide for applicants and were presented here in this session. So this is very important. You should use the money to complete the activities that are identified here, and of course take into consideration as well the eligible costs that also are highlighted here. So this is very important. Activities that we are supporting are there, and costs are also identified here. Unfortunately, we cannot support infrastructure or equipment costs, so only service that are highlighted here and that I mentioned before. So do we have to detail the budget at the application time? No. So we did the math, and we think and we know for sure that the 7,000 euros allow you to implement the project as it is structured, and also gives you enough flexibility to choose the structure that you want to proceed and perform, and also to implement. What this means? It means, for instance, you can select GPs other than your region, that is from another region that is different from your region. You have the money, enough money to go there and proceed to perform this activity. Also for the consultancy service, for the training, and also for the certification. So the 7,000 euros allows you enough flexibility to select different certification schemes and labels, and also different topics for the consultancy service, and also for the trainings. So rest assured that the money, you don't need to provide any application, provide any detail on the budget, but we are 100% comfortable that the money is enough to apply and to perform the activities that are identified in the call. Jorge's answer to another one. So could we apply to other certification systems that were not presented here? No. So you have the list. We believe that taking into consideration the effort, the research, the financial amount that you have to put in this activity, that those, and also of course the scope of the SusRur project, what we want to achieve, what we want to aim as part of this project, and also for the SMEs, we believe that this list is adequate for the purpose of the certification process, and also for the process of selecting the one that is most adequate for your business. Anyway, Jorge is also typing an answer, and we will of course provide you more insights on this one. I have here some frequent asked questions. I cannot go through all of them because we are now after our established time for this presentation, but I will select ones that are very important. So yes, for instance, if I need to engage in an economic activity as a self-employed, I have to, sorry, I don't see the main, to be, okay. Yes, you have to be in you have to confirm and submit a certification registration that confirms your activity, that you are engaging in economic activity. If you don't show this, you'll be deemed ineligible. So those questions about eligible regions, we have already answered these ones. Also regarding where I am established, you have to be established in one of the eligible regions to be considered for this project. If you receive financial support from a previous call managed by SusRur consortium, or the topic where SusRur project is funded by, you are not eligible, you cannot apply, unfortunately. You have to have a F6S profile, is mandatory. If you don't have one, you will not be able to submit your application. In terms of access my financing, you know, there are 3 periods. So the first, and you have to complete each one of the checkpoints in order to receive the final installment, or the installment linked to that checkpoint. This is very important, and this process will start when, for instance, the checkpoint, the period ends. So don't worry, we will be assisted during this process, and we will receive adequate follow-up to ensure that you follow the rules. Lump sum scheme. So why are we doing this? We are doing this because of the lump sums mechanism. So these are defined upfront and fixed in the subgrant agreement, and they are paid according to defined activities, which means payments will be made upon completion of the project milestone deliverables defined in the guide for applicants and model subgrant agreement template. So this is a lump sum scheme. Very briefly, what consists of cascade funding. Okay, what can I say? We are a project funded by European Commission, and we are mandated by the Commission, the European Commission, by the topic to also provide funding opportunities to SMEs. So the fund comes from the European Commission, as I said, under the European Union COSM program through the call topic that is identified here. How can you benefit from the funding? So by doing this, by participating in this call, you have the chance to improve your sustainability performance towards green and digital transition by implementing these 4 activities that we have already highlighted. So how many good practice providers do we need to visit? 3. So we have to select. If you are selected for funding, we will provide you a list, and you will select by then the region that you would like to visit, and the 3 GPs that you would like to also visit and know more. And at the end, you have to select one to implement in your premise, in your local business. Thank you so much, Jorge, again for your help. Moving on. So what's the value for you to participate? Very quickly, I think these are more than interesting points and reasons to participate. So you will be part of an INNOVATE 12-month project to improve your sustainability performance. You will receive and obtain credibility and recognition from an European project, and who knows, start thinking about applying to other calls for proposal, more complex. So this can be you can look at this as a learning process as well. We will receive 7,000 euros lump sum funding, equity free. So just to implement these activities, develop new skills, replicate and implement innovative solutions. You will have access to the consulting service and initiate a certification scheme and level. And of course, I believe this is also very important. By doing this and by participating in the final regional meeting, you will have the chance to network. And this is very important also to create, not only by the final region meeting, but also by going to the GP's premise and discussing these novelty, innovative solutions that you can learn and know other people that are implementing with other realities. And this for sure is a valuable asset of this project. And finally, I believe this is the last one. My application was accepted. What are the next steps? So if your application is accepted, we will receive via email an invitation letter to start the preparation of the subgrant agreement, and then all the steps that you have to perform until the subgrant agreement is signed. So additional information will be required by me. Declaration of honor, signed, bank account information, just to confirm that you are just to perform the payments, as of course, and also the SME status checklist, if applicable, for your case. But don't worry, if you're accepted, if your application is accepted, if your proposal is selected for funding, you will receive an email with an invitation letter. And of course, after that, we will start the process. Another question came up. Do I have to show how much I pay for tickets, accommodation, or certification start? Okay. You have to, of course, keep the records about these expenses and expenditures, but we, SusRur project, will not perform any financial audit. So if you deliver the deliverables, if you complete the checkpoints, if you prove that you complete that, you will automatically receive the money. We will start the process and you will receive the money. So you don't need to show these tickets to us. However, you have to keep records. It's very important. European Commission or an entity chosen by it can perform audits and checks to all participants that receive funding and financial support from European entities. So you have to keep the records. That's important, but we will not request them for financial purpose or to proceed with the payments. Don't worry. And that's all from my side. Thank you for the extra 50 minutes. It's wonderful to see that most of you stayed in the call. It's important. Another thing that I want to highlight here is this information is available on the website. So the website is translated to local language. However, the guide for applicants, the documents that are part of the documentation kit are only in English, but you have a summary of the call in local language available on the website. So this is the link to access it. If you need more information, if you have any doubt, please contact us. This presentation will be also available on our website. So if you need to download it, it will be available there, and the recording as well will be available on our social channels and website. So if there is no other question, I would like to thank you all for your attention, for your participation, for the questions that you made. This is very valuable for us. It shows interest, and I think this is important at this stage. Don't forget, there will be another session only for questions and Q&A session. So if you have any doubts, please use that time to put your question to us. I would like to thank you again to Jorge and Professor Zanetta for their presentation. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck. And any question, you can contact us. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice day.